Your world begins with a crack. You hatch out of your head in the middle of the Viridian Forest in the Kanto region. Congratulations, you're a Pichu, tiny, sparking, and at the bottom of the food chain. One of them bumps into you, and your cheeks spark instinctively. Zap! In peak sibling behavior, they immediately zap you back. Great, you've been alive for 5 seconds and already started a feud. The forest is alive with dangers. Beedrill patrol the skies, sparrows stalk the trees, and every shadow feels like it's out to get you. Your mom herds you all together, her tail sparking like she's ready to throw hands or, well, electricity at anything that gets too close. Food becomes the first big challenge. There's a berry bush nearby, but it's guarded by a territorial Pidgeotto. You and your siblings decide to team up, but teamwork lasts all of 2 seconds before someone gets zapped. You try to grab a berry yourself, but one nibble sends the Pidgeotto running or flying to get you. You run, sparks flying from your cheeks, screaming internally and maybe externally. Nights are even worse. The forest gets eerily quiet, and every rustle feels like a predator closing in. You huddle with your siblings, hoping safety in numbers is a thing, but one of them zaps you in their sleep. Days turn to weeks, and you slowly figure things out. You learn to dodge Beedrill stings, most of the time, grab berries without getting pecked, occasionally, and zap yourself less often. Progress. But deep down, you know you're not the apex predator here. You're just trying not to be someone's snack. And in a forest full of sharp beaks, big teeth, and endless dangers, that's easier said than done. You've managed to survive, but barely. Beedrills hate you, Pidgeotto wants to eat you, and even Caterpies look at you like you're an easy target. Life as a little Pichu is rough. Then one day, it happens. A warm, tingling sensation spreads through your tiny body, you glow, and just like that, you're not a Pichu anymore, you're a Pikachu. You're taller, well, slightly, stronger, and you've got a tail that looks like it could actually do some damage. You're Pikachu now, you've officially leveled up. At first, it feels amazing. You can finally zap those Pidgeottos instead of running from them, and your Thundershock actually scares off the smaller predators, but with great power comes great annoyances. Other Pokemon start noticing you. A lot. Every Raticate with something to prove suddenly wants to challenge you to a fight. Even the Caterpies aren't afraid anymore. One of them actually dared to hiss at you. The audacity! Hunting doesn't get much easier either. Sure, your Thundershock is stronger, but your aim? Still terrible. You tried to zap a Pidgey the other day and ended up frying a bush instead. Now the Pidgeys just laugh when they see you coming. But the worst part? The predators haven't gone away. In fact, they seem more determined than ever. Fearos dive bomb you like you owe them money, and you're pretty sure that Arbok you zapped last week has been holding a grudge. Still, you're surviving. You've got quick attack now, which makes escaping easier, and your Thunderbolt is starting to feel more like a weapon and less like a party trick. You're not just surviving anymore, you're starting to thrive. Well, almost. Because there's a new problem lurking in the forest. Trainers. You've heard the stories about trainers, but you've never seen one up close, until today. You spot them, a human, clutching a Pokeball like it's their life's purpose to ruin yours. You've seen predators before, but this is different. This one is shorter with a backwards cap. That's how you know they mean business. The trainer locks eyes with you and is game on. They shout something, but you're too busy bolting to care. The Pokeball flies past your head, missing by a mile. You think, okay, maybe this won't be so bad. Then they throw another, and another. Suddenly, it's like you're in the middle of a dodgeball championship, except you didn't sign up for this, and the stakes are your freedom. You dart left and right, sparks flying as you weave through the trees. One ball bounces off a rock, another gets stuck in a bush. For a moment, you almost feel bad for the trainer. Almost. But just as you're about to make your grand escape, the trainer does something unexpected. They pull out bait, a whole bottle of ketchup. Your stomach growls, you hesitate, but the smell is too much. Against your better judgment, you creep closer. And that's when it happens. The Pokeball comes out of nowhere, hitting you square in the side. Before you can react, the world turns white. It's quiet. Too quiet. You're in some kind of void, floating, disoriented, and utterly trapped. You struggle, sparks flying as you try to break free. The ball shakes once, twice, then clicks. You've been caught. The next thing you know, you're standing in a wide open field, blinking at the sunlight and the overly excited face of your new trainer. They're practically vibrating with energy, clutching your Pokeball like it's a trophy. You, on the other hand, feel like the world's most reluctant prize. Pikachu, use Thundershock, they shout, pointing at a nearby Rattata like it's some final boss. You pause, partly because you're still bitter about the whole abduction thing, and partly because it's a Rattata. You could probably scare it off with a stern look. Thundershock! They yell again, this time with jazz hands for extra emphasis. Fine, you zap the Rattata, who feigns immediately. Your trainer cheers like they've just saved the world. You glance at the fainted Rattata and think, this is my life now, huh? At first it's manageable. You face Pidgeys, Caterpies, and the occasional Weedle, none of which put up much of a fight. But then the opponents start leveling up. Literally. One day you're staring down an Onix and your trainer has the audacity to shout, Pikachu, use Thunderbolt! You give them a look. Thunderbolt? On a rock snake? Are you serious? But they keep yelling, so you do it anyway. The Onix doesn't even flinch. Battles are relentless. Every time you think you've earned a break, your trainer calls you out for another fight. When you're not battling, you're stuck in the Pokeball, which is less cozy retreat and more tiny timeout corner. Sure, they toss you the occasional berry, but you're pretty sure it's just to keep you from staging a revolt. Still, something strange happens. As much as you hate this whole battle machine lifestyle, you're getting stronger. Your Thunderbolt can fry a bush from 20 feet away, not that you've tested it or anything, and Quick Attack is finally living up to its name. You're faster, sharper, and tougher than ever before. But then, it happens. Your trainer enters you in a gym battle. You're up against a Raichu, and that thing looks like it's been hitting the Pokegym every day since it evolved. Your trainer shouts, "You've got this, Pikachu!" as if that's all it takes to win. You, on the other hand, know this is going to hurt. You survive the gym battle. Barely. The Raichu left you with a bruised ego, a sore tail, and a lingering question. Would evolving make things easier? Your trainer seems to think so. Not long after the battle, they pull out a Thunderstone, grinning like they've just unlocked some secret cheat code. You eye the stone warily. Sure, Raichu is bigger, bulkier, and packs a punch, but it also loses. Well, you. Your speed, your agility, your undeniable Pikachu charm. Do you really want to trade all that for biceps and a tail whip upgrade? Your trainer waves the stone closer, and for a second you're tempted. Maybe being a Raichu wouldn't be so bad. No more getting tossed around by gym leaders. No more being underestimated by cocky Pidgeottos. You'd be the heavyweight champion of the team. But then you remember the Raichu from the gym battle. The way it smirked like it owned the place. The way it flicked its tail like a weapon. That's not you. You're not about brute force. You're about quick moves, clever tactics, and just the right amount of sass. So when your trainer offers the stone again, you swat it away with your tail. They look surprised, maybe even a little disappointed, but you stand your ground. You're a Pikachu, and that's enough. For now, anyway. After the whole Thunderstone debacle, life with your trainer settles into a routine. You zap things, win battles, and occasionally get treated to a Pecha Berry. It's not glamorous, but it works. Then one day, your trainer announces something big. You're entering a tournament. Not just any tournament, the kind with stadium lights, roaring crowds, and opponents who look like they eat Pikachu for breakfast. You're pretty sure you saw a Machamp bench pressing a Golem in the warm-up area. The battles start off easy enough. A Pidgeotto here, a Graveler there, you even manage to dodge a few Hyper Beams. Pro tip, don't stand still. But as the rounds go on, the opponents get tougher. By the semifinals, you're facing a Snorlax that looks like it hasn't skipped a meal or a nap in its life. Your trainer, as usual, is shouting commands like you're a one-Pokemon army. Quick Attack! Thunderbolt! Iron Tail! They yell as if it's that simple. You're dodging body slams like your life depends on it, because it does, zapping everything in sight, and wondering how you got roped into this mess. Then it's time for the final battle. Your trainer is on his fourth. "You can do this, Pikachu!" line. Yeah, thanks for the motivation, coach. Maybe try taking that Hydro Pump to the face yourself sometime? The match is brutal, but somehow, against all odds, you land the winning Thunderbolt. The crowd erupts, your trainer rushes onto the field, holding the trophy like they've just conquered the Pokemon world. But you're too tired to celebrate. Someone hand you a berry, please. Life slows down after the tournament. Your trainer finally stops yelling Thunderbolt every 5 minutes, and you've traded gym battles for long naps in the sun. Retirement, it seems, has its perks. One day, your trainer takes you back to the forest. You step into the familiar greenery, sniff the air, and immediately feel the nostalgia, along with the faint PTSD panic of, oh no, is that a Beedrill swarm? Thankfully, it's just the wind. That's when you meet them. Another Pikachu who looks like they've never lost a fight or a berry. They raise an eyebrow at your scars, and you swear there's a spark. Literally, you're smitten. After some awkward introductions, mostly involving you accidentally zapping a nearby bush, you hit it off. You cash in that early retirement with your trainer, and then suddenly, life in the forest doesn't seem so bad. The two of you make a great team, dodging Beedrills, zapping Kakuna and Weedles, and raiding berry bushes like it's a competitive sport. Then, one morning, you wake up to find a clutch of eggs in your nest. Your partner looks proud, you look terrified, and the forest suddenly feels way more dangerous. Parenthood hits like a thunder shock. The eggs hatch into tiny Pichu who seem to think their sole purpose in life is to zap everything, including themselves. You try to teach them survival skills, but they're more interested in wrestling each other or chewing on random sticks. Stop zapping your sibling, you yell for the third time in 5 minutes, only to get zapped yourself. Your partner finds this hilarious. Raising a family isn't all that bad, though. Watching your Pichu take their first wobbly steps or land their first accidental thunder shock on a Caterpie fills you with pride. Sure, they're chaotic little sparks with tails, but they're your chaotic little sparks. The forest is still dangerous. Fearos are lurking, trainers are always a threat, and Caterpies are weirdly smug these days. But you're ready for it. You've come a long way from being the clumsy Pichu who couldn't aim a thundershock. Now, you're the forest veteran, the protector of your family, and the one with all the stories. As you watch your Pichu zap each other into a pile of sparking fluff, you can't help but laugh. Life hasn't been easy, but it's been worth every zap, dodge, and thunderbolt.